Congratulations! You're part of the 5% of the population that actually sits down and writes out their goals. Can you believe that? Less than 5% of the people on this planet really know what they want out of life. So before we actually do our session, I want to take care of a couple housekeeping items. Number one, I want to make sure you're not going to be driving during our session. Our mission is to actually impact your life and improve it, rather than end it or put you in a situation where you could get in a car accident. Secondly, I want to make sure you set aside ample amount of time. Last thing I want to do is get deep into our conversation, deep into our session, and have our time cut off and need to reschedule. My calendar, I'm sure as you noticed, is pretty packed. So right now it's about a month out if we have to reschedule. Thirdly, I want to make sure you bring a pen and paper. Average person that does a session with us, they end up with about 5 pages of notes. And as Tony would tell you, you only retain about 20% of what we'll actually talk about in our first session. You're going to want to go back and repeat the content that we go through. Repetition is the mother of skill, so I want to make sure you really get this stuff ingrained. A couple extra added bonus items before we sit down and talk. As you can see below, there's a giant picture of Tony down there. If you click on that, there's a beautiful audio that he put together for you before our session. It gives you a really good pre-frame, sets the tone for what we're going to sit down and talk about. And before we actually speak, if you really want to get to know who I am and kind of see where I came from, what my story is, my background, my training, there's a giant green button down there. You can click on that and get a good feel of where I come from. So as the big guy says, until we meet, live with passion.